Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know that I said that I was going to be consistent and be back here every week, and then I just dipped and never returned. I was busy getting married, so planning a wedding is a full-time job on its own, honestly. So now, because I've had to hold back on buying books and anything in general for myself that wasn't wedding related, I thought, now that I am a wife and I'm settled, my money's back to being my money again, I can just buy books. And so I treated myself in the last few weeks. So let me get into it with a book haul, really, in true Tasha fashion. So let's go. These are like in no order anymore because I don't remember where things are from and when I bought them, so we're just gonna get into it. Also, I am probably not gonna know much about each book that I show you because I just kind of go off recommendations, or I'll read it at the time, love it, and then don't really know what it's about. But if it intrigued me at some point, then obviously it's good enough. So the first book, which is actually my current read, is Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. I am probably about a third of the way in. I understand this is the second book to yours truly. I could be wrong. I think they're interconnected standalone, so it doesn't really matter. I am absolutely loving this at the moment. This gives me the same experience as Emily Henry's books do, in a sense that it's not just a romance, it's so much more than that, because although it's a romance of that like good luck Chuck situation where the female main character and male main character, they meet on Reddit because they both have that thing where anybody who like breaks up with them falls in love and finds the one straight after, basically. There's also like trauma going on with each characters, and I just really enjoy how it does that, because sometimes romance books, they'll put in a bit of trauma and kind of just like make it like, oh my god, she literally is like so depressed, teehee. Anyway, it's not like that at all. Like, it actually gives it the attention that it deserves, and I'm only a third of the way in, so I'm very excited. If this is my first one and I'm loving it already, I can't wait to read more of her books. Of course, I picked up Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage, which is the second book in the Love Light Farm series. After finishing Chestnut Spring series, I obviously was like on my cowboy romance hype, so this was a great kind of way to get back into it. I would have bought this anyway, just because look at this cover. The covers of this series is just second to none, but this one, I'm pretty sure she shows up on the farm and does some work for the male main character. I don't know, I feel like obviously there's that tension, but like they can't because there's like a professional thing. That's what I think it's about. So yeah, very excited because it's just another cowboy romance, and I flippin' love them. I actually have 4 non-fiction books here, right? Who are we? And technically Ben bought a couple of those as well, because basically we went to Greece and Italy and we were so immersed, so cultured after these visits that we just wanted to know more. So the first book that I've got here is Heroines of Olympus by Ellie Mackin Roberts. This is about the forgotten women of Greek mythology. I picked this up in Santorini and it was really surreal reading this, because we then went to Athens and we went around the Acropolis and did the museum and saw like the Temple of Zeus, etc. So it was really cool to just get to know a little bit more. It's really short, it's like a few pages, bang, like this is this person, blah blah blah, next person. It's like you don't have to like binge through it. So yes. Okay, so like I said, we are just so cultured, and because we went to Italy, we did Rome, like Napoli, Amalfi and Sicily, and so Ben actually picked this one up for me, A History of the Roman Empire in 21 Women by Emma Southern. It's hefty, but I actually am just so intrigued because I genuinely do really enjoy history, and especially when we visited like Pompeii and stuff like that. The thing that I was like hyper fixated on the most was like, the Romans basically invented everything. Like, you know those like lights that you see in the middle of the road that are reflective so that when you drive home in the dark, you can see it? Like, we didn't invent that. The Romans were doing that already. The Romans invented, well, I don't know if they invented, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they were doing that. They had like a sewer system, they had brothels, there's so many things that I feel like, wow, it was really made out that someone literally only recently invented certain things, but actually the Romans been doing stuff. Anyway, again, like about women, because why not? And then Ben also picked up One Fine Day, Britain's Empire on the Brink, and it just sounded really interesting. So we both have very similar tastes in terms of non-fiction books, and he thought that this was something that me and him would both enjoy. And so let's get into it. And then the last non-fiction book we have here is The Body Keeps the Score. I know everyone knows about this one, but I have been intrigued by this book for so long, and so I just pulled the trigger and bought it. I really want to learn more about the correlation of trauma and how it affects you like mentally and physically in that sense. So apparently this is a wonderful book to kind of delve further into it. So let's go. Okay, next up, I've actually also started reading this. I don't know where my bookmarks have gone, but it's The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I am probably about a third of the way into this one. Actually, I really enjoy it. I think with classics, I either know that I'm gonna love it or I just can't be arsed with it. Like this one, I feel like I'm gonna really enjoy it. Although I've heard that lots of like psychopaths and serial killers and shit love this book. Catcher in the Rye. And then we got a couple of books from The Works. Obviously, they're 3 for £6 deal. So I got 3. The first one we've got here is Love Me Do by Lindsay Kelk, and I love it because how cute is this little cover. I think it's like maybe like they're friends, close proximity, because they're like neighbors and she's trying to set her neighbor up or something, but maybe she likes him. Like it's just like a fun little romance because you can never go wrong with a fun little romance. And then the next 2 books are by Hannah Bonham Young, and everyone and their mothers have read Out on a Limb. This is I'm pretty sure it's like a surprise pregnancy trope. Don't know what this one is. Hopefully it's not them being related, next of kin, but we are going to read these because everyone has been talking about Out on a Limb, and I've not really had, I think I've only ever read one surprise pregnancy trope and I actually wasn't mad about it. So this one I feel like I'll enjoy because everybody has, and I like what everybody else does. And then the next few books I picked up very recently when Ben and I went to Bath after we came back from our cruise. Again, The Works coming through with the bargains. We have Sarah Adams' The Rule Book. This is second to the cheat sheet. Again, I think it's like an interconnected standalone. It's not like you have to read the first one. The cheat sheet, I was kind of like, these people are annoying. P.S. I don't also love the friends to lovers trope. I just don't really like it. I think it's kind of boring. This one though, this one seems to have the tropes that I really enjoy, i.e. second chance romance, and is surprise marriage like a thing? Like that forced proximity of like, oh no, we got married by accident. That's what this is giving, and I live for that stuff. So I have really high hopes for this one, despite the fact that, like I said, the cheat sheet was like a to me. Off to the Races by Elsie Silver, because I will read anything Elsie Silver writes. Gold Rush Ranch was actually the first series, I believe, before Chestnut Springs, and this follows their sister and like the girl. So this is like female led, I'm pretty sure, this series. Oh my god, I also bought Wild Love, but I didn't bring it up. I also bought Wild Love, and I'm pretty sure that's like, someone said that it's all like single dads. Yeah, so we'll have a good time with that. I think it's like kind of not enemies to lovers, but he's like, oh, you're so annoying, but we have to work together. And then he's like, oh, I shouldn't. And then because we're in an F1 era, Throttled by Lauren Asher, the first in the Dirty Air series. I don't know why the what's it called? The title just cracks me up. Like Throttled just sounds like insane. This is like my brother's rival. Like, oh my god, I shouldn't, because him and my brother are like, ooh, they're rivals. Of course she's like, but also, you know what I mean. Next up, probably my most anticipated out of this entire haul, sorry guys to the other books, Ashley Poston's A Novel Love Story. First of all, I love everything she's ever written. I've only read her 2 books of 7 Year Slip and Dead Romantics, both absolute love them. This one though probably has like my favorite kind of premise, because tell me why this is about someone who wakes up and she's living in her like favorite book. Is it a favorite book? Yeah, to her favorite book's world. Like that's like, you know, when someone's like, if you could live in any like fictional world, what would it be? She's doing it, and I love that. I love the magical realism and romance like crossover in her books. I love them. Okay, and then we have a YA book here, because I'm in my Criminal Minds era, and every time somebody mentions this book, they're like, it's like Criminal Minds but with like powers and like YA. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, who wrote the Inheritance Games. I don't really have any intention of reading those books, but this series I'm kind of like, I'm intrigued, and it's short and it's YA, so I feel like I'll have a good time with this one. Next up, we have Ripe by Sarah Rose Etta. This, we are going into the literary contemporary fiction field. This is about like a corporate nightmare. It's like something happens where she's like, oh, should I or should I not? One of my favorite bookstagrams, Silly Little Books, recommended this on her page, and anything she recommends, I will buy. Exhibit A. Exhibit B is Sugar Baby by Celine St. Clair. First of all, the cover, beautiful. Chef's kiss, like, just look at it, beautiful. As you can guess, It's about someone who delves in sugar babying, the world of sugar babies. It's a contemporary fiction again, and I love stuff like that. So next up we have Dead End Memories by Banana Yoshimoto. My sister bought another book by this author. She said, she was like, I don't know how I feel about it. So I was like, intrigued, let me pick up the second book. Also because like just look how beautiful this cover is. I love translated Asian literature, and this is what it is. So yeah. Last but not least, we have Natural Beauty by Lin Ling Huang. And I saved this for last because I didn't realize that this floppy paperback cost me $16.99 from Topping & Company. I only knew because my sister was like having a look at all the stuff, and then she saw the receipt. $16.99 for this. But you know what? I've heard nothing but good things about it. It's, again, it's like a contemporary fiction, and it has commentaries on the beauty standards that society imposes on women and the lengths that some women go to kind of satisfy said standards. So yeah, I love that kind of commentary as well. So those are all the books that I've bought recently. I definitely don't need to buy any more. I mean, I didn't need to buy any more anyway, and it's just nice because now I can get back into reading because your girl's only read like 14 books. Yeah, I just want to get back into it, and now that I just have all my time again, it's just so nice to know that I can just sit down and read my book again and just get back into the swing of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I promise I will try and be so much more consistent on here. But thank you so much for those who stuck around, and if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.